Hello, I'm Jim White. I'm here with Brad Dude. We're going to be talking about the basic elements of temperament. This is the third video on the subject, and we're going to be talking about Brad's second book, Successfully Applying the Basic Elements of Temperament at Work. Welcome, Brad. I'm glad you're here.
Thank you. Glad to be here.
Tell us about temperament.
Well, after the first book of What Makes You Tick and What Ticks You Off, we felt that was kind of the primer book for everybody to understand how it applies at work, with your spouse, with your kids. Then we got feedback on it that we really like to tailor it toward the work environment. In fact, we decided to have two tracks, a fiction as well as a nonfiction track. This is the first book in our nonfiction track. We call it The Secrets of Temperament. This book basically provides some more insight into how we can work better with our supervisors, with our colleagues, with our clients, with our coworkers. And that was the total focus of this particular book.
So there's a storyline through it as well. Is that right?
We decided on providing a number of basically true stories that we have heard temperaments. For an example, we had a story that came to us from an Earth team leader who was charged with developing a major presentation for upper management in her organization. And she put together a highfalutin team of mostly heirs, scientists and engineers, to work with her on it. And she brought them all in and provided them with their tasks and told them how they ought to meet and what they ought to do and when they should do progress reports and what their deadlines were, and let them go. And she was astounded because she thought she was very clear and precise in what she required of them, when she found that they weren't responding and weren't returning her calls and missing deadlines. And she had a meeting and kind of yelled at these very competent and experienced science and engineers. And later she found, from talking to one of them on the side, was that they felt that she was just too parental, too charging at them and pushing them, when they felt that a more appropriate role for her would have been to use her position to get more data that they were unable to find, or lobby with upper management to help them with the reputation and getting an understanding of what their presentation should be. So that's an example of where we had errors and conflict.
Very good. So this really does show what kind of a mismatch there can be when you really don't understand the background, as it were, the temperament background of the folks that you're working with. You can really sort of miss the mark sometimes.
You can miss the mark, and both sides were well-intentioned in trying to do the best job that they can, but they just weren't communicating at all. So our book is trying to increase the awareness of those earths, airs, fires, and waters, to know that the way they look at the world is sometimes very different from how their colleagues are looking at the world.
Very good, very good. So if you characterize sort of earth, air, fire, and water in a work situation, so what do the earth folks want?
Well, the Earths are certainly looking to protect their organization's reputation, and they want to make sure that everything is planned according to what they believe is important. Heirs would look at, heirs want to bring truth to the organization. They want to look at where we're going with our organization, and no matter what these crazy rules are or requirements that we have, we want to do what's right from a technical perspective at work often. Fires are there to troubleshoot, be practical, make the most of the information that they have at the moment, and go with it. And that sometimes ruffles feathers as well. And of course, waters are trying to, they're the people persons, and they want to make sure that we're all working together, because they feel that working as a team will be more successful than working as individuals.
It sounds like you really need all four temperaments, in the workplace, playing to their strengths with each other to work in a more effective, collaborative environment.
A final message of our book is that we should assume that not everybody is our same temperament, and that when we look at our colleagues and team members, that we should assume that all the other temperaments are out there that we need to be aware of.
Very good. Very good. So, how can folks find out some more about temperament and the basic elements?
Well, I hope they watch our video series that we're doing on YouTube, as well as join us on LinkedIn. We have a Temperament and Leadership Network group, and I hope they join us with that. And also our Facebook page. We now have 5 books on Amazon on the subject of temperament, and we hope everybody will take a look and write a review for us. We're always looking for more reviews, so I hope they do that. In the business world, we think this is an area that deserves a lot more of attention. We run half-day and full-day workshops, and oftentimes typically included as part of a longer leadership 5 to 10 day leadership courses that we run. So get in touch with us if you're interested.
Very good. Well, thank you, Brad. We'll have contact information at the end of the video. Thank you very much for being with us and for enlightening us on how to be more effective at work.